a documentary about the Nigerian Biafra war, written by Meji Alabi, a Yoruba guy, 2 days after the publishing of the life and allegiance by Gowon. We are seeing a non-Biafran trying to portray a documentary about Nigeria Biafra war, which has been condemnable and hashtag surviving Biafra. Stop the documentary surviving Biafra. Why would a Yoruba man tell the story of Biafra? Why is it being run by BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation? Is there anything you are seeing? Well, before that, let me just meet you. Tell us your name and where you come from and your response to the dredging issue that different Biafras all over the world has come to condemn.
All right, my name is Avonda Richard. I'm from Lagos, Badagry. So I'm not even an Igbo person. But I'm somebody that look at things objectively and critically. First of all, let's be realistic. We are yet to see the unfolding of what Meji Alabi wants to release in that documentary.
But let us assume it has been released.
Yeah,
okay.
But first of all, I'd like to say something. Do you know there is difference between sympathy and empathy? Sympathy is when you just, condole with people, what happened, we are sorry, we see this. But empathy is like putting yourself in the shoes of whatever of that thing that particularly happened. And that is the reason why I am, in a way, condemning, or in fact, using a Yoruba person to tell the story of a particular region. First of all, you have to show empathy. It has to be a person from that region, which shows that somebody that lived in the experience, somebody that had a first-hand experience, that can make personal references, and that is what gives credence to what particular stories you want to push about. First of all, before I begin any narrative, this is a message to every individual. I am not an Igbo person, but I will tell this story to tell you that every Igbo man, everyone that understands what Biafra means to them,
Correct.
and that has seen a message that knows what it is to have a Biafra nation, should come out and invest in the media. Because let me tell you, the narrative is shaping in the media, and that is one of the first words you can use to actualize this particular war. Because the way it is going, Gowon released his book which day, and we are seeing documentary is going to be released. So centrally looking at it critically, it looks like a doctor time frame to paint a certain narrative in a region that will favor a particular region. If you look at the book Gowon read, the Gowon just posted, published, it painted so many blames on Ojukwu. He didn't mention so many points where he also faulted, but rather painting so much picture. Let me tell you, Gowon said Ojukwu was secretly stockpiling weapons before the Nigerian Civil War, while he was coming out openly to talk about peace talk. I like to tell you, if you have read, you will know that, but it was said that some Biafrans some Igbos were massacred. 10,000 of them were killed in the northern region. So you now expect somebody that is leaving that region to fold his hand and watch and be saying, please, we will just stop this stuff, without sophisticating itself. That was why Ojukwu also came out and said, Biafra, after stockpiling weapons, that Biafra can now negotiate from a standpoint of strength. If you don't have strength, you have nothing to. Wait, I like to say something. When your enemies want to even come at you, if you don't have a strength and a defense line, what would you use to campaign? So first of all, we need to understand that if a person is trying to say a self-actualization is what I want, what exactly is the problem? I really want to understand. Why can't we come down to a round table and settle this amicably? Let everybody be in their region. The killings that is going on, it's not palatable. If you have your family members and your friends and your people in this region that are being killed daily basis, would you accept this to keep going on? So if it looks like religion has divided us, Christian and Muslim, it's not in the same direction. Why can't we go in a separate ways so everybody can practice what they believe is an ideology that can move them forward?
But when with the British Broadcasting Corporation, if you can permit me to ask that question, choose Meji Alabi, a Yoruba man, to run a documentary titled Surviving Biafra.
What I would say is this: I feel there are still some of the things, some stories that Gowon is not saying the truth about. If you look at President Bola Tinubu, the body language, everybody knows he has gone to the US then to lobby so many things. Why is so much lobbying to cover up some things? Why? What exactly is the reason for the lobby? We need to ask these questions. What exactly is the reason for lobbying US things to paint a certain narrative? If everything is clear, they said a man that is truthful, you have nothing to hide, you will come out with your full chest. If there are no issues, something to hide, why the lobbying of facts to paint a certain narrative about Biafra? For instance, what's the name? Sunday Igboho came out now to talk about the president giving him and the chance to launch Ijaeko in the southwest. If actually the president actually does that, and which I am yet to officially confirm, but if actually the president said that even on the ground, why is ESN not giving that official backing to also secure their territory? Why are they always killing the Igbos? I'm not an Igbo person, but I'm looking at these things from objectively, looking at it from the outsider. You might paint a certain narrative if you want to say it, but let me tell you something. If somebody says at this point in time, let's be realistic with ourselves. The way Nigeria it is now, an average Yoruba person, you can take it or leave it, an average Yoruba person does not really see an Igbo man as somebody that he wants to dwell with. We can only just coexist, having a good mind. Somebody that you don't want to fight, you don't want to. Yes, being a good person, you just come together and try to settle something. But deep down, an average Yoruba man does not want an Igbo man. I can tell you, I was looking for an apartment, I told somebody, and the person was saying, Yoruba ni àwọn Igbo ló lè gbé níbẹ̀ yẹn kíní kan. That is segregation. So when this kind of statements keep being in our landscape, political landscape, in our heart and in our faces, the children that are coming up are hearing these things.
Okay, you just take us back now, then at this point that Igbos have spread and contributed to the economic development, not only in Lagos, but in various parts of the country. What will be the advice to them?
First of all, I will say to every Indigbos, to every Igbo man, wherever you are, I think if you truly want Biafra, if you truly want a nation that is safe for yourself, that which you want to self-actualize your own people, it is time to come together. First and foremost, invest in the media. Tell every Igbo, what is it called? Invest heavily in the media. Because if you can successfully paint your own picture and your own narrative in the media, it sends a strong signal. But when your people are sidelined and it is only a certain tribe that is telling your own story, they cannot paint a story that reflects your own people. If you want to show empathy to your people, if you want to preach to them that this is us, make a reference point from the people who actually suffered from that particular suffering. So that is the only way you can send a strong message.
No. Going back to, of course, Alabi, on the 1st of June, we are going to see this documentary being published by the BBC. Why would the BBC not reject? Because there's an ongoing hashtag now that the surviving Biafra published to be documentary should be hashtagged and rejected by the Igbo people, because no one, he said, he who wears the shoe
nowhere it pinches.
What's your reaction to that?
That is why I've said earlier that everyone who believes in Biafra, like I've said openly, it is my own opinion. Did you get? If Biafra comes today, I'm in Biafra. And this is because I'm a Christian. I believe in loving one another. I don't believe in killing one another. Why would you say because I didn't accept your religion, it amounts to me killing you? Why? What is the lie for? So, my message and my reaction is that every individual that believes, that truly believes, the only quarter that you can contribute now is to first of all come in groups, invest in the media, either private, come as an institution together, begin to invest in the media, have personnel, people that can study history, bring them together, equip them, and let them begin to tell the stories, and let them begin to champion the cause of how you would make Biafra a sovereign nation, and the things you would do differently, the ideologies you will preach to the world, and what Biafra holds for those that will support Biafra. Those are the narrative people want to hear. And I can tell you, if you can successfully build that kind of ecosystem that will send a message that people want acceptance. If you build an acceptance nation, I'm telling you, even some Yoruba nations, people that believe in that ideology will follow.
Okay, we keep on asking questions because there's already a hashtag. Stop surviving Biafra BBC. Stop surviving Biafra BBC. But in all these things now, let us say Nigeria had Southern Protectorate and Northern Protectorate, and we are seeing a Southern Protectorate in the position of authority as the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who come from the south. Under him, he will notice that the resistant voices like Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been manipulated to the point of imprisonment. That is one. We are seeing Gowon publishing, a book under the same Yoruba man as president. We are also seeing a BBC documentary published under this Yoruba president who is supposed to protect the certain interest based on the reality on ground. What is the understanding of an average Yoruba man of an Igbo man loyalty to Biafra?
First and foremost, I would say there is no need of going back and forth on this issue. Like I've said, Tinubu and the successful government that have passed tend to be going in the same direction. You can see the amount of terrorists that are being rehabilitated on daily basis. There is this man that came out that said his father was killed, his wife and children was taken, and he was part of the repentant Boko Haram that was in the camp that they took. And he said, Boko Haram, those that were repented, are paid 3 million naira ransom. It is not my own word. He said it. And that some of them are paid 50,000 naira. It is there on the social media. The man said he's not afraid. Now, this is my message. And this is the true message that I would say to anyone that truly believes in Biafra. Stop going back and forth. Organize your people. If you are financially endowed, either in diaspora or in this present nation that we truly stand in, the only thing that you can do now, we cannot bear arms because we are peaceful people. Because Biafra believe in peaceful nation. You don't want to kill. You don't want to carry guns to kill other people to actualize your own nation. So since you believe in peace, what you can do now is to bring people together, your youth, your like minds together. The social media world is evolving. Organize groups, organize clubs together, equip them with the knowledge that they deserve, and bring out your own media picture that will send a signal to the world that this is the message that we are preaching. Because as it stands, either you believe it or not, the nation, the regions are not in perfect agreement. And it will keep on being like that because if you check those past military rulers that have ruled Nigeria, most of them are always saying one Nigeria is a scam. And history tells us, history makes us to understand where we are coming from, to tell us where we are going to, and that gives us a projection.
Was Ojukwu wrong as a Yoruba man? Because there was no war in Yoruba land, and the Yoruba man is telling the story of Biafra. Was Ojukwu wrong? Actually, you know, because I know that you are well researched, you are a veteran in trying to do analysis on events in the past and history. Was Ojukwu wrong to have declared Biafra?
Well, let me tell you, in my own opinion, I won't say Ojukwu was 100% right, and I will not say Ojukwu was 100% wrong. Why did Ojukwu declare the war? Did the Aburi Accord meeting, was it 100% accepted? Did you perfect the conclusions that you made in Aburi Accord? That is the question. If what you are going should be, I'm not a Biafra like I'm saying the truth. If truly, what was the negotiation in Aburi? Who floated those agreement first? Gowon should come out and say it. And when Ojukwu, sir, if I'm a father, I have a wife, and I have a daughter. If I am seeing that the way this thing is going, it is not favoring my side, would you expect me to fold my hands without equipping myself in case if it happens. First and foremost, was it Ojukwu that first of all fired and killed people? No, those are questions that we should ask. I am not saying Ojukwu is 100% right to have declared Biafra, but I have not also still saying Ojukwu was 100% wrong to have declared Biafra.
Okay, on that, finally, we are seeing a hashtag going online. Stop BBC, stop surviving Biafran documentary.
I will say, let's not stop that. Wait.
Okay.
In my own opinion, I will not say stop that documentary. Let the documentary be released. Do you get what I'm saying? And hear the side of the documentary, because I also heard it wants to be told from account of those survivors, of both from the Nigerian story and the Biafran story. Now let us see the documentary and let us look at it critically. And that is why I said, and I'm standing, that Biafrans need to invest in the media. If this documentary is out, you come out with your own narrative, should in case if you found any fault or any lie in this particular documentary that will be released by the BBC. So this is a time to begin to recruit yourself and begin to invest in the media that will do a proper research and analysis from a standpoint of the first-hand witnesses. As I'm speaking to you, there are still some old women, some old men that lost their children in that particular war, that can tell you a vivid example, that can still take you to places that are seen, that is still that you can still see in this present time, that they can make reference to. Those are what I'm talking about.
I say, Yoruba, I've seen you talk about Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. I've seen that passionate of that vision of Odumegwu Ojukwu and Mazin Nnamdi Kanu now. With the reality that Fulani are almost running down, according to Gary Adams, do you think that Biafra remains the solution to jihad in Nigeria?
First and foremost, I would say, in my own opinion, first and foremost, let every region hold their separate units.
Thank you.
That is the solution, because our beating together will keep on carrying us here and there, because we will never agree. Why we will never agree is because we are not speaking a unified language. That is the truth. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. We are not speaking a unified language. If 10 Igbo men are standing here and 7 Yoruba men are standing here, they will not speak the same language. The Yoruba man will identify, even if the Yoruba man try to sabotage themselves, at the end of the day, they will still come to a conclusion that will define themselves as the Yoruba people, because they will speak the same language.
Are you a missionary? This is what the British saw and said in 2014, Nigeria should go their separate ways. But today, when that drive, people wanted to drive that, there was imprisonment, resistance, and all that. And Nigeria has not actually moved forward after that.
I am not a missionary. I am just a noble citizen of Nigeria and a person who likes to look at things critically. So please and please, this is a time that this nation of ours, Nigeria, is not looking in one direction. There are too many divisions. Biafra should come. Let Northerners go practice in their region. Let Easterners go practice in their region. And let the Yoruba nations practice. And let us become a healthy competition that will develop each of our regions.